Southborough Tricentennial Committee is now in session. It's Thursday, December 12th, 6:35 p.m. First item on the agenda is reflections on tricentennial celebratory events and to discuss future speakers. Vanessa and I thought that we should talk about that. Either have, I'm, as you know, in favor of having speakers at least briefly for each meeting. I think we gain by that, but we have to make sure that they contribute, that time is valuable input to what we're trying to do. So, for example, I think our last speaker was Jimmy Falcone, and I think he spoke for 16 minutes. But from him, we received verbal commitment to be a big contributor. He also expressed experience with golf tournaments, and he was talking about his antique oil truck as a entrance into the parade. So I thought that was of great value. A local businessman, has been around for a long time. So I'll open it up to other opinions, if any.
Well, I'd be happy to say that it was comforting to hear him say that he wanted to support the Tricentennial. He goes way back, and this town is very important to him, and he wants to contribute. What I'm wondering is, he's a very well-connected guy. We know that through our survey, our interest in golf tournaments is way down as compared to other events like the parade. What if we were to try to get him on board and some of his friends that worked with him over the years on the committee, on the parade committee?
Yeah.
That would be great. If Don, you're well connected with him, aren't you?
Oh, we grew up together.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
maybe you could tell him that the committee, talked about his involvement, and we would really like him to help spearhead getting the committee underway and growing it with some of his connections for the parade.
Okay. Oh, sure. I'd be glad to do
Just a
that.
thought. Just a thought.
Anyone else? So we'll try to continue to have some guest speakers that won't take up a lot of time, but may be valuable to us relative to their experience or the desire to do things for us. Actually, tonight's guest speaker is Travis, even though we didn't tell him.
I'm happy to speak.
Okay.
I'm
Still
listening.
there.
I'm with you.
Okay. We'll get to you once you get home, Travis.
That's okay. I can go whenever. I'm listening in. I'm just not. I can't be on camera right now.
Okay. So if there's no more discussion on that, we can move on to the next item. Okay, which is the approval of the meeting minutes from November 20th. We'll entertain a motion to approve them.
I have edits.
Why don't we take the motion and then we have this discussion with the edits.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? Go ahead, Patty.
Okay, so in the paragraph brick fundraising update, the 6th line down, the word purchased should be purchases, and 10 or more, comma, which has turned out to be a creative marketing and outreach tool for this fundraiser. In the next sentence, the vendor requires a minimum of 50 bricks per order for the best price. We can actually order as many as we want, but to get the best price, we want to order 50 at a time as a minimum. And in the next sentence, the committee formally discussed placing an order in late May, so the first batch, and the rest of it didn't really make sense to me. I think it should be reworded as could be installed at Heritage Park prior to 2025 Heritage Day and celebrated as a special event. And then on the next line, Mr. Morris spoke about a suggestion made to him, which would be an oral history of each person who purchased each brick instead of tied to. And then on the next page, and this in the paragraph regarding the list of volunteers, I don't know that we discussed specifically the fundraising committee looking for volunteers for tricentennial events. I mean, they're reaching out to their own contacts and, you know, setting up a list of who contacts whom in regard to sponsorships. But I don't think that they're getting involved in specifically in what people are going to volunteer for to help with the tricentennial planning. So I'm not sure that sentence is correct. And then in the next paragraph, Ms. Martin is spelled incorrectly.
I do have that S on the end of my name.
That's it.
Okay, very good. Any other questions or comments, revisions? So whoever is going to do our minutes will hear your comments, Patty, and make adjustments, and then we'll move on. Anything else on the meeting minutes? As amended? Hearing none, all in favor? Morris, aye.
Martin's eye.
Fiore, aye.
Shell's eye.
No, Chapin, aye.
Very good. They're approved. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is discussion of the formation of subcommittees. So we made some progress on that last time, identifying the top 5 at this time subcommittees that we're ready to form. When I was at Trotter for the Gobble Wobble sign-in with Karen, there was a guy that came in, and I didn't get his name, and I didn't know him, but I spoke with him briefly, and Karen told me that he had volunteered for.
The music festival.
Was that the one?
Yes,
You know who I'm talking about then?
yes.
So is that the only person that we have so far?
No, I sent out the email to the list of people that had responded to the survey saying they would be interested. And we probably only had 6 or 7 responses, with people saying specifically what committees they'd want to work on. So I just simply sent a reply to them all saying, you know, thank you, and we'll be in touch. So I guess we need to figure out who's going to contact these volunteers to flesh them out a little bit more. And we also need to create a better outreach to get more volunteers.
So the reaching out would be to 6 or 7 people?
Yes.
If you guys think it's appropriate or not inappropriate, I'd be willing to do that.
That's fine. I can send you a list of their names and contact information.
Patty.
And what
Was,
what committee they were interested in.
Yes.
Oh, they identify which one they wanted. They
Yes,
were interested.
that's what I asked him to do in that email. was to say which one they were interested in.
And was
Nobody
there a
was
good,
interested in the parade. Shocker.
say that again?
No one was interested in the parade.
So we're gonna reach out to Jimmy Falcone and get some of his people who have done years of golf tournaments and see if we can rally them. But I have a question. Patty, do you think it would be worth us dividing and conquering all the people that responded that they would be interested in volunteering and having us, like, I know my niece said she would be interested in volunteering, and when I saw her at Thanksgiving, she said, "What committee do you think I should sign up for?" And I said, "Well, what interests you?" So she's out there ready to commit. We just need somebody to say, "Thanks so much again for saying that you were interested. Now that we've come up with 5 subcommittees, would love to know which one you would like to be on." Like, I'm thinking actual physical outreach.
Right.
How many people did you email total?
There was only 34 or 35 people that had responded to the survey saying specifically that they would volunteer. Now, I have not sent that out to the whole mailing list. I only sent it to that segment of the mailing list. I also think that we need to add to our mailing list. I have added in the contact information for all the people that purchased bricks so far for the contact information that I have. But
Right.
we're still, considering the population of this town, we're still at a very minimal number.
One of the things that we talked about the other night, Patty, at the fundraising meeting was when we do these public relations events like Trunk or Treat or Heritage Day, we need to capture email addresses when people come over and we hand them stuff. Can we
Yeah, I thought that was a
add you
great
to our
idea that she
list?
had.
So, yeah, so
Absolutely.
we need to, anytime anybody does anything, have an email sign up sheet ready to go to capture more emails.
Yeah. Michelle, did you have a question?
Yes, so what I wanted to say that Annie Pfaff actually contacted me and said that she was interested in the house tour. She wanted to play a part on that committee. So I don't know if she was one of the
Yeah,
people
she
that
was
you.
one of the people. She had responded to it.
Okay,
Mhm.
good.
So do we get volunteers for all of the subcommittees except the parade?
What were the other committees?
So we
Uh,
have the drone show, we have the music and festival
I
and
don't
family.
think there was
fun.
anyone for the drone show.
Okay,
I think we might have had at least one person for everything else. I mean, I know of a couple people, like, for example, Kate Battles wants to still be a part of the house tour. And frankly, we need her because she was the main person that planned the house tour when the Historical Society did it a couple years back. So she's guaranteed, she's got some stuff going on right now, but she has promised me that she is still on board with that.
great. Well, what do you think about us each taking 5 or 6 people and contacting them that were on that original email list?
The
Like
34 list.
yeah, the
No, I
30.
think she's talking about the original, like, subset of people that responded to the survey.
Yeah,
Oh, no, you are talking about the just 34 people.
yeah, just the
Okay.
Yeah.
34. So,
Yeah.
like, for example, I'm gonna take my niece because I'm gonna assign her the drone show because she's an engineer and she'd probably really like that. So
Mhm.
I already will take one person and I'll take 5 more if you want to give them to me.
So that's fine. So I probably should put that into like an Excel format so that, and send it around so that people can choose people that they know
That would be great.
as a first come, first serve kind of thing. So I can do that.
Thank you.
When do you think you would do that, Patty?
I can have that out to people by the beginning of the week.
I don't think there's any like big we shouldn't go to sleep, but when I ask when people are going to do things, it's just to get an idea of when you think you can. And
Well, I'd rather do it than have it forgotten on the agenda and not move it forward. So that's
sure,
fine.
okay,
I do think that we have an issue that we need to do more outreach to not only increase the brick sales, but to increase just the communication of the ongoing events with the public. I had suggested last time that we do a newsletter that can be a regular monthly thing. I would like to, further that conversation because I think that can help us build a database of people. I also, I had mentioned at the last meeting that I had responded to a select board communication that was promoting another fundraiser and hadn't heard from who did. I was trying to find out who in the town hall did that so that to see if they could do that for us. And Vanessa got back to me and, I want to thank her. I think it went out last week. So our brick fundraiser went out to the entire select board contact list last week.
Did you get any responses?
I have not. Well, no, you know what? I'm going to be honest here. I don't know that I've checked that email because that email I have to sign in through the town account, that Southborough 300 email. So I actually have not. I don't think I've checked that email since.
Okay.
so the 34 will be divided by the 7 of us, or
Yes, I
you
think that
send it out and then we'll try to pick from that list
people you know. You
people
get
we
first
know,
priority on people you know.
and then whatever's left, we'll just assign to somebody, to each of us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But in the meantime,
I have a question. If you get that list out to us, Patty, by beginning of next week, can we have a due date for when we get back to the committee with the people that we know? So we don't have to wait a whole month to reach out to these people. Can we do it via email?
Absolutely. I don't think that I have phone numbers for everybody. Now, obviously it's advantageous if you know the person and have their phone number, but
Mm-hmm.
not everybody gave phone numbers in that survey.
Right.
But all of those people did have emails because that's how I contacted them.
Okay, so what I'm saying is like, can we just, once you give us the list, we'll check off anyone we know. We'll randomly assign if nobody knows anybody. And then can we contact them right away? Like, I don't want to wait a
Sure.
whole month.
Pick a date. Like if
But
you
don't
have this
forget-
list from me by Monday and everybody responds by Wednesday of who they want to contact.
Yep.
I mean, do you want to say 2
Don't
weeks?
forget you're at the holidays.
You
Not the
are,
best
but I
time.
mean,
Yeah, but it's just an email
it's just,
or a
yeah,
text
You want them
email
to
or phone call.
respond.
phone call.
I don't think people are, offline for the 2 entire weeks completely just because there's a holiday.
I think it's gonna get buried over that 2 weeks, to be realistic.
Well, we can
It's not-
try. I
it's not
think we
gonna be a
should just try.
priority.
I think it would be good to have a date to shoot for. So if we give
why
2
don't we
weeks,
hold off until we get to the agenda item for our next meeting date? If we have to meet earlier in January than usual, then that'll back us into a date. And then if the 7 of us can't meet until, let's say, the 3rd Wednesday, that gives us a little bit more time to do what we're saying and then react to that before the next meeting. So do you want to wait until we get to that when we pick our next meeting date, or you want to pick that now?
Why don't we just do that now?
So we'd be looking at, what do we usually do? We try to do the third Wednesday.
It's the 15th.
I can't make it if it's on the third Wednesday. 'Cause that's when the library meets.
Hasn't it been Thursdays? No,
No,
no.
that's why I'm able to be here.
15th. 22nd?
I cannot make the 22nd.
Let's
Okay.
try a Tuesday or a Wednesday. I mean, a Tuesday or a Thursday.
Tuesdays are gonna be tough because Andrew's on the select board and they meet every other Tuesday. Although, I mean, we haven't seen him lately anyway, so.
Thursdays. I can do the 2nd or the 9th. No, I can't do the 2nd. I can do the 9th or the 16th.
That's fine.
I'm fine with a Thursday.
Actually, I apologize. I gave you misinformation. It looks like the third Wednesday would be open the 15th if you want to use it.
I'm available.
Michelle, how about you?
I'm available.
15th?
The 15th? Okay. So we're going to meet again on the 15th. And our homework to reach out to people with a response back to the hub, which is Patty.
Sure.
Is that what I'm not assigning or suggesting that you do that, but is there someone else that could do it?
Well, can we share a spreadsheet on OneDrive
We
that
have I think we might have Google Docs set up on this. I think that was one of the first things that Vanessa did is we
I
had
think she set up OneDrive.
was it OneDrive?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I
pretty
think they
sure.
used Google.
I don't think so.
You know what? We can ask her and we could do it through that so that, we don't have 5 different versions of the file moving around. Everybody's
Yeah,
just,
and we can update the file once we talk to people.
Right.
And we could
you
say,
can also go in and, determine who you want to talk, check your name off for somebody that you want to talk to. And it'll just get saved so that everybody can see it. Michelle, I don't know whether you or Sandy, have you received that information on how to connect with that from that shared drive?
I have not,
No.
but if,
All right,
Would-
I'll ask Vanessa or Jay. It's probably Jay, actually. I'll have
Okay.
somebody send it out to you.
thank you.
It's how we did the original Excel file, you guys.
So the way I understand it is it's going to be an equal or as equal as we can distribution of reaching out, except for me having the additional 6 or 7 that you're going to send to me separately that have already volunteered for.
Correct.
Okay. Slowly coming together. Any more discussion on subcommittees?
I mean, I did have one additional thought was, again, like I said, we need to increase our database. We need to increase our number of contacts. And a thought that I had is that we, basically draft a letter, a generic letter, that would then go out. Each of us on this committee would send out to our contacts in the town, just basically saying, you know, as a member of the Southborough Tricentennial Committee, you know, we're doing X, Y, and Z, and we're looking for, you know, people to help plan these events, and we're forming these subcommittees, and asking, coming as a personal ask from a member of this committee to basically volunteer. You know, but if we start by just creating a generic letter that everybody can just, you know, tweak to customize and send out to their own contacts to try to, you know, at the very least, we can ask them to sign up for the monthly newsletter to, you know, continue to be informed about upcoming planning and events.
I think that's a good idea. I also will volunteer to do some social media posts on Instagram saying, have you ever been interested? Like, for example, have you ever been to a drone show? Have you ever had any interest? Tricentennial is thinking about this as one of our events. We'd love to hear from you if you have any, you know, experience.
Jenny, do you have your access to the Instagram for the committee? Do you have it set up in Meta Business so that it can post to Facebook too?
So I didn't set it up, so I don't know if it does. My personal account, and I will post whatever I post on the Tricentennial, I'll post on my personal account, and that will also go to Facebook. But I didn't set up the Instagram account, so I don't know if it.
No, I did, but if you, because you're
Oh,
also
when
on
I
the
post.
you're also on the Facebook account, so you can just put it into Meta Business and be able to do it onto both.
Okay, can I get some help from you on that for the first time? Okay, just to make sure I'm getting it right. But I will volunteer to do at least 5 posts for the various committees. You know,
That's
just
great. Sure.
get it out there.
And,
And
you know,
we
let's
get-
just, at this moment, put it out there also. If anybody else has any specific ideas for social media posts, I mean, it would be great to move forward saying that we're going to do at least 1 post a week and 1 newsletter a month. But it would be good to have people helping with that content and ideas. And I mean, even if it's just, you know, Ginny and I that have the access to it, if you just promote the idea, that's still a big help.
Yeah, content is helpful.
Are we all set with subcommittees for tonight?
I think so.
Okay, we'll move on to the update on the brick fundraiser. I know Patty and Ginny have been working this. Who wants to go first? Ginny? Patty?
Patty, I mean, if you basically just told us that that letter went out, which is great, from the whole select board's thing. The only thing I have to add to that is that and I'm gonna go over the fundraising update, but the fundraising committee identified 10 local organizations that would be good candidates for the bulk ordering program. And members of the committee are reaching out to these organizations. You know, we talked about it at fundraising, and we decided that to expand our groups that we're going to go after, like some of the churches in town, the senior center, things like that, and give them the option to bulk order at a discount with a credit to anybody who's already ordered at the full price. So if somebody who's a member of the senior center and is actively there and says, oh, I already brought my book for 300,
Yeah.
you will honor that.
Right. Minus fees, minus the
Right.
credit card fees. Yeah.
So that's pretty much what I have as an update.
What's the total order now?
I don't know that it's really changed much. You know, I mean, somebody in the fundraising team said that they had purchased one and paid through Venmo, but I have not received the order form. And I don't believe that I've received any updates from the website that there's been online orders placed. So again, that kind of harkens back to the fact that I'm saying we need more outreach. We need more coverage of this event, fundraising event, and more presence on it.
I think, Patty, that letter you're talking about that we send out to our own contacts, our personal contacts, maybe we could have a checkbox on there would be, you know, I would like to purchase a brick. I would like to volunteer for this committee. I would like to
I don't
give
think
them
we can do that
options.
in an email, though. You can't respond with a checkbox. I mean,
Oh, I thought we were mailing letters.
oh, no, I was thinking we just
To an email.
mail out to our contacts.
Well, do you want to talk about maybe a mailer?
We certainly could. I mean, you know, we could do, you know, a mailing or a postcard.
What about a day at the dump? I mean, I feel that that's really a good way
Yeah,
to reach
that's-
out people.
Great
Yeah.
idea.
Maybe when it's warmer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Would have
I
to
feel
Um,
that.
would have to kick Sam out of his spot.
We're saying next
Or
to him.
invite Sam to do it for
No,
us.
we're saying
That's
next
what I
to
was
him and
thinking.
ask him why he hasn't purchased one yet.
Yeah.
Well, I think
Is he
that,
on here? Is he listening?
remember, it always comes from the top.
That's right.
So,
A day at the dump. That's a good idea. It would be like a mini version of the table we had at Heritage Day. We'd have the brick
Heritage Day
there.
and the trunk or treat, you know, you have your
Yeah.
banner, you have a table set up, you have the giveaways, and you have a place to collect names.
Yeah.
I think that would be a fabulous idea.
agree.
Lots of toe warmers and hand warmers.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't have to do like we did at Trotter for the Gobble Wobble, which was the first question we ask is, do you live in Southborough?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot
No,
of people that
Michelle, I
run
think
it.
that's a really, do you want to spearhead organizing that?
Sure.
Excellent.
So
great.
would that be, what is it when there's like a crowd of people that just appears and they're like dancing or singing? What do they call that?
A mob,
Flash
flash mob?
Flash mob.
Flash mob.
So if we got a good weather forecast for a Saturday, we could, you know, you'd have like at least a couple of days notice. And then Michelle, you could reach out to us and say, let's try to do a flash brick at the dump this Saturday.
Do we need to clear it through DPW?
You
Yes.
do.
You have to schedule it.
Yeah, you do. But you know what? Bill Cundiff is very supportive of this. So I don't think that would necessarily be a problem. I think they just kind of limit how many people they have doing that kind of thing each week. And you don't have to be there all day long. I mean,
Right. We're
you know,
really
when
not.
I've done these,
yeah,
when I've
not
done the
selling
things
anything either.
otherwise.
You know,
Yeah,
we could
it's
probably ask them what the busiest hours are.
It's like 11 to 3.
That is it busiest.
Yeah.
Cool.
So is that how we're going to do it? We have all we need. All we need, you know, we have the table, we have all the forms, we have the sample brick.
I think
have
we
a
need
chi-
one more form. I think we need a form that basically says, I would like to, and give them a menu with their name and what they would like to do specifically.
Mm-hmm.
That's in addition to try to get him to buy a brick.
Yep, but also in addition to the giveaways and the
And, well,
register
I
for
mean, we
email.
could probably work something out. So that's on the email sign up,
Yeah,
just have
yeah.
it as like, put your name, your email, and check the box under which column you would be interested in.
Yeah, I like that.
Michelle, that would be great if you could work on that. And if you want to have a contact with introduction or something to the DPW to Bill Cundiff, let me know. If you don't already have his
What-
contact.
I don't have his contact, but what if I just show up in the office there?
Even better.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, tomorrow.
Thanks, Michelle.
They'll be before noon. Oh, wait, no, I think they work a full day tomorrow. It's only in the
I think
townhouse.
DPW does.
Yeah, I think it's just the townhouse.
All done with the agenda item on the brick fundraiser?
I think so.
All right, move on to the next one. Discuss quarterly report to the select board. I sent that out. Was it today or yesterday? I sent it out
This morning.
this morning. I worked on it just in general. I did not work on it specifically with Vanessa, other than to tell her that it was something that we needed to do. And like we did back in July, it was a written document that I gave to Vanessa, and she cleaned it up a little bit, and I think she handed it to the select board. And I appeared at a select board meeting, and I briefed it verbally, and it was very well received. And that's the plan for January, one of the select board meetings. So I sent that out to you guys. Ginny and I worked on it last night and this morning. So the idea is to tell as much of the good news as we can to show the public and the select board that, we're working hard, we meet often, and these are the things we've accomplished. These are the things we're doing. And then that last part is what we plan to do in 2025. So that, but without a whole lot of detail, because it could be multiple pages if we started to get into it. So with an eye on and an ear on that, take a look at it. Feel free to make any adjustments and send it back to me, and we'll get it so that everybody's comfortable with it, and then submit it to the select board, and they can put us on the agenda in January to do it at one of their meetings. Any questions or comments on that?
Nope.
Next item is the fundraising update, the status report. Would that be Ginny?
Sure. Okay. So we met on Monday night. We determined that with everyone on our committee having full-time jobs and this being a very action-oriented committee, we all agreed we needed more bandwidth and to expand the fundraising committee. We spent time identifying fundraising committee prospects, and committee members are reaching out to them. So we all came up with ideas of who might be good candidate for the committee. And we're basically spending the next week or so reaching out to them to see if they would be interested. Members of the committee are reviewing the Elite Circle sponsor, which is the top tier sponsor, the outreach letter to them, and the letter going out to local business owners for support. So we're just fine tuning that. Members are reviewing and expanding on the sponsorship benefit package. It's hard to provide them with a benefits package when we don't really know what our events are yet. if we're having a gala, do they get a table at the gala, you know, or if it's complicated, but we are working on it. It's in draft form and we're each taking a crack at it. The committee has met with the Southborough Community Fund. Patty has more on that and is currently writing a grant for a fundraising software program that has been determined to be the best fit by committee members with experience with the program. Patty and who else, Patty? Are you muted?
Sorry, Alan and
That's
Karen.
okay. Okay, and yes, and they spent a lot of time evaluating what software packages might be really good. And we came up with one and it was going to cost about $1,680 for the year. So Karen and Patty approached the community fund, talked to them over it, and they suggested we write a grant and they're probably going to award us that. And it's a fundraising software program that does a lot of things that are going to be useful to us in communicating with
Yeah, it's like CRM, CMS software. Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, so that is also going on. As I mentioned, we identified local organizations that would be a good fit for the bulk ordering program. And we also spent more time identifying potential top tier donors. So that's what's going on. And if any of you know of anybody who you think would be a good fit for the fundraising committee, we'd love your input. It's a fun committee, but we did lose a member this month.
Temporarily. Right?
Not for the,
I
I don't
think for
think
this
she's gonna be back for the foreseeable future.
yeah. So, I mean, she may be back in other supporting roles, but so if
Okay.
anybody knows anybody, we would love your input.
Any more on the fundraising status report?
Patty, did
I
I
would
miss
just add,
anything?
I just might add that by giving a grant, the community fund, they would essentially be getting a sponsorship. So we're hoping for the lower level sponsorship that would be paid out over 3 years. I mean, this is like pie in the sky dreaming, but that would fully cover the software. I think, you know, maybe if you're not familiar with what this kind of software does, is first of all, it can be our entire communications arm doing EMAS, eBlasts and segmented eBlasts. So for example, if we have the database and it's, you know, however many people bought bricks, and we want to then host a Find Your Brick party, we have a segmented database that we can send invitations to just those people. You can also do fundraising through it. You can do event sales. And also importantly, you can use it for like thank you letters, the monthly newsletter, and in addition for things like, you know, what Kathy Cook is going to be handling otherwise of year-end tax reporting. So it could easily generate, based on templates that you create, a letter saying, you know, thank you for purchasing the brick. You know, this amount is tax deductible, yada, yada. And it can create letters that go out to people that purchase bricks or purchase sponsorships.
That they can actually use for the
Right, for the
IRS.
tax write-off. And when
Right.
we're talking about selling, you know, 300 plus bricks, that's a lot of year-end tax letters.
Yeah, it's great software. I've never used it, but Patty has. And Alan did a lot of research on different ones, and we decided to go with one that somebody had experience with because.
Well, we attempted to set it up actually with a free version of another one, but it frankly was, and I put in too many hours into it and putting in information and stuff, and just really came to the conclusion it was going to be too limited based on only having the free version. So that's when Karen England came up with the idea to approach the community fund for a grant.
And it's moving. It's looking good.
Yes.
Just to let you know, I turned off my video just because my battery is dying and I don't have my charger with me, but I'm still here.
Okay.
Anything else on fundraising?
I think we're good.
Other matters properly before the committee?
I have one.
You're on.
We have a lot of new members. You know, we have basically half of this committee has turned over in the last couple of months. And I think it would behoove us to have a discussion now. Unfortunately, 2 people aren't here, so maybe we need to table this for next month. But I personally would like to see a discussion from everyone of how they, what each person's strengths are and how they feel they can contribute to what this committee is trying to do. I don't want to see this, all the work in between a monthly meeting boiling down to 1 or 2 people. You know, frankly, it's not fair. We need to spread out the wealth. But I think that it would behoove us to have that conversation of what people's strengths are and specifically how they can contribute and are willing to contribute to the progression of the tasks that we have at hand.
So would you say like a little template, like my skills and resources are this, and so I'm best suited for this, and I'm happy to do this? Is that kind of what you have in mind?
Anything, I don't even know that it has to be that formal. I'm just saying that this is a good time because we have new members and, you know, we're not necessarily all that familiar with the new members. So, and those new members might not be that familiar with us and our strengths and interests of where we're contributing. But in order to move forward equitably of creating action items for the entire committee to accomplish between meetings and not just, you know, attend a meeting, but to accomplish things between a meeting, I think it would be in the best interest for everyone to have an understanding of where people's skills are and what people are specifically interested in contributing. And also if we know where their skills are, then we know when to hit them up for something.
I like it.
There's also, I agree, but there's also an angle of that, which would be what your weaknesses are. For example, like it's easy, it's real easy for people to see that, Patty, you're like wicked strong in software and the computer stuff and all that. And I'm not. So to me, that would be a weakness. If I was assigned to research software, it would be the 400th anniversary before.
John, we would never ask you to research software.
Oh, good. That's good.
I think it's better to concentrate on the positives rather than the negatives. I would rather talk about where I can contribute to and where I can be helpful than what you don't want me to do. Personally.
Right, and it's for the good of the committee to let you all know that if you get assigned something that, unless the other people know that you're not very good at it, then it's just something that it's just on the other end of the axis. But okay, we'll make that an agenda item for next meeting?
So maybe people could come prepared to, just 2 minutes, talk about themselves and where they specifically feel they could contribute and,
Would like
You
to
know.
contribute, yeah.
yeah, would like to contribute and what they, an idea they would like to push forward. I think that would be very helpful.
I think that would be good.
Anybody got anything else for other matters? I do. And Michelle, where's Michelle? She's still there.
I'm still
Um,
here.
Yeah, we lucked out and we were able to attend the Christmas concert at the Deerfoot Chapel, uh, 2 Saturdays ago, and it was fabulous. Um, did you, Michelle? Did you get to meet Paul, the maestro?
Oh, yes, just briefly. He was pretty, I mean, they were fabulous.
I forced myself on him in the carriage house and told him, that we have a 300th coming up, and that I was on that committee, and that asked him if he and his group uh, ever participated in those type of celebrations, and he said absolutely. So um, I would suggest that his group, it's all from chamber music to full concerts to like the pops. It's claflinhill.org thing. They're out of Milford, and
That's who, what's his name, did one of his symphonies. The guy who wanted to write our symphony was Claflin Hill.
it's not the same guy.
No,
I don't know
he
if it's
wrote
the
a
guy
symphony they performed, is
they
what she said.
performed. Yeah,
Oh, okay. So
I don't know
um,
if it's the same guy.
Do you know how much they charge?
I only asked him about a cost of things because he said they do everything from like what they did at the Deerfoot Chapel, which was 6 people, or was it 5, and all the way up to like the Boston Pops, which would be scores of people. And I said, oh, if you do a concert like the Pops, what are we talking? And he said 20 grand, which I thought was like, you know, pretty good. So if everything else is less than that, his group may fit into one or more of our events, maybe not as the main liner, but like, for example, the barbecue and concert, or I don't know, have them perform at the gala.
Yeah.
But it's just
Yeah.
something to look into. And it was interesting because they're local. They're just in Milford, and they do stuff around, Central Mass. So
Is it all
I've
classical and chamber? Do you
no,
know?
I think it's even like the Pops where they'll do
Some jazz?
their version of more modern songs and more upbeat stuff. He said that he's connected to all kinds of musicians, horns, strings, all that stuff. I'm revealing that I don't know that much about music, but I did have a nice conversation with him, and he and I agreed to talk again. But and if we do, then or once we know more about what we're going to do, and hopefully find out more that they can do, maybe we can connect with them in some way. But Michelle, I mean, I agree with you. We were blown away. It was just excellent.
Yes.
Really
So
top
the other,
notch.
speaking about the Burnett Mansion, I actually looked at the preservation restriction and
Mm-hmm.
thinking that that may be a good place as a venue for one of the events. And in that preservation restriction, it actually only says that he will entertain for educational purposes twice a year, school-aged children to come on site on the grounds. There was nothing else
Yeah, I
there.
don't think there's any guaranteed access to his house.
Not to the house, but it said to the grounds, so twice a year. That's part of the agreement.
Maybe some of the educational talks, I mean, the historical talks
Mhm.
or something maybe could take place there.
I think we could work something into that.
He
I'd
was
also-
involved in the house tour, the last one they did, which was, I think, a holiday house tour. The Historical Society did it like, what, 4 years ago, I think?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
we were
2019.
able to go into Deerfoot Chapel. He did not open up the house, but he allowed that.
Well, we're hoping possibly we could talk to him about if we have a signature
Mhm.
donor, elite circle sponsor party or something. Maybe we get a little quartet from Claflin and maybe he would let us into the house or for those huge donors.
Or the grounds. Anything else, other matters properly before the committee? Our next meeting date is January 15th. And Travis,
Oh, he's been online all the time. We should have moved him up.
That's okay. Don't worry about it.
no, he's our host, so he's
I'm not going anywhere.
yeah. So talking with Vanessa about a whole bunch of other stuff, and this, it's obvious and evident that you need to and are interested in being a player in some or almost all of the stuff that we're doing, as far as the rec department, making sure that we're able to take advantage of some of the existing things that you guys do and latch onto it a little bit, make it a part of that. And I think that was, I think, could have it wrong, but you reached out to and shared that with Vanessa, that some of the things that you guys do can have.
I think we had a discussion. I think latching on to some of the stuff, obviously, that we do with Heritage Day and summer nights and the key events that we do with the parade and even the Gobble Wobble. Obviously, if there's anything that the committee wants to do to latch on to those events and add to those events, yeah, I'm your point of contact. I'm your guy. And we're doing a couple of things this summer that could almost, I think I talked to Vanessa about it, that could be like trial runs. We historically have done summer concerts throughout the summer. I think we did 6 last summer. This summer, we're going to do 4 concerts, but we're going to mix in 2 block parties, which could segue into your concerts or some of the summer events you could do next year. So you could use that as if it's successful, that's great. And it worked and we know it. So that was the discussion I had with Vanessa, but definitely I can be your point of contact with the departments and my knowledge with events and stuff like that. I'm happy to be your point of contact for the town. And I'm happy to fill in on whatever you need for events or anything like that.
Excellent.
Travis, what's the block party concept?
Yeah, so I'll get a little more context. So we're mixing it up. We're going to do one at Finn, and we haven't locked this in yet. But we're going to do one at Finn and one at Woodward. It's exactly like it sounds. So the thought would be to like bring recreation to families rather than having everybody go to concerts. We're still going to do 4 concerts throughout the summer. But this summer we're going to sprinkle in. It's just going to be like some inflatables, some like yard games, some interactive family stuff, maybe some food trucks. It's just like a regular old like family get together outing. We're going to have some of our camp counselors maybe do some face painting. So we're trying to mix it up a little bit, and maybe that could be a segue to some of the stuff that the committee is looking forward to do for next summer. And if it's successful, there's ways to piggyback and do more and blow it up like that barbecue. That could segue nicely into like a barbecue concert. If you know that's successful, then maybe that's something down the line that committee knows it could be a successful event. We're trying it out. It could be a total flop. It could be successful. So it's unknown territory, but we're trying something new.
So we'll wait for you guys to prove it successful, right?
That's the goal. So
Perfect.
yeah, that's what I talked to Vanessa about some of the stuff. We're doing a touch a truck in May. That's a new event that we're going to do.
What is it? I'm sorry. What is that?
Touch a truck. It's exactly like it sounds. A lot of rec departments do them in like May, June when the weather gets nice. It's like DPW, police, fire, old fire trucks, landscaping trucks. It's just like bring all your fun trucks out to a parking lot, and then kids can climb all over them and hit the horn and stuff like that. So it's just a fun family outing, free community events.
Nice.
So we're trying some new things, and we can definitely stay in communication if it's successful or not, and maybe there's wrinkles that we can add that make your events, the Tricentennial events, more successful based off of how we do.
Great.
That block party reminds me of, there used to be an organization in Southborough in the 60s when I was a teenager. It's called the Southborough Teen Canteen.
Yeah.
And
Community house? In the basement of the community house?
yes, we used to meet there, but we used to hold dances at the second floor of the town hall when it was still a basketball court. We'd have hundreds and hundreds of kids show up. We charged $2 a piece. Made a lot of money. But probably the biggest thing that we did was in front of Woodward, the lower parking lot there.
Yep.
That parking lot was there back in the 60s. It was all beat up, but it was still someplace you could park. And Ted's towed a flatbed trailer out onto that for the band. And it was a warm summer night. We must have had around 1,200 people, young people, high school. It was enormous. And, I was part of that teen canteen. And whatever my job was, I was walking around at the perimeter, and Willie Caleri and it was back when he was a sergeant, got talking, and he says, I don't know how you guys, got so many beautiful teenage people here to listen to this. It was rock and roll music, and it was peaceful. There was no, there was no fights or guys speeding their cars around or anything. It was incredible. It was right there in that parking lot. Back in the late 60s, before you guys were born.
Hardly.
Yeah.
Not
So it's
quite.
been done before. It's been done before, but
It's all been done before. They've done this nationally. It was a big push to bring recreation to families that might not have it accessible during the summer, whether it be transportation or financial or whatever it might be. So it was a thought to bring recreation to those families that might make it more accessible for them. And it highlights the rec department in the town. So it's hopefully it will be a good thing.
excellent. Anything else, Travis, for now?
That's it. I think that was the comment. That was the communication with Vanessa, but those are some of the updates that I have on the rec side, and definitely happy to help out with events and whatever I can do to help out.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No
You're
worries.
on the record now. On the record for saying that. Our next meeting is January 15th. I don't usually make too many motions, but I would like to make a motion. If we're getting ready to adjourn, I'd like to make a motion that the Tricentennial Committee and our wonderful supporters have a happy and safe holiday season.
Seconded.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, Morris, aye.
Martin's eye.
Oh, Chapin, I.
Yes.
Brett's very eye.
Good, the motion passed. That means we all will have be safe. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, Morris, aye.
Martin's eye.
Oh, Chapin, I.
Burns Fiore, aye.
Michelle Hoganson, yes.
Travis, thanks a lot. We'll unplug ourselves and you can close it down.
I'll close it down. Thank you very much. Have a good holiday, everybody.
Thank you,
Okay,
everybody.
thanks. Right,
Bye.
bye-bye.